Hi everyone. Hello and thanks for joining us on another episode of Chit Chat. I am Chinasa, but if you call me Chi, I will be so proud of you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, I know, right? I'm wearing a new look and it feels so, I don't know. Anyways, thank you all for stopping by. Thank you. If you're new here, you're welcome. If you've been here, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for always being here. I am very grateful. So on today's episode, we're going to be talking about why it is okay to start over, why it is okay to start again, why it is the best just to start over. So oftentimes when we come to the end of I will start with relationship with people, or we come to the end of a particular race and it wasn't successful, we tend to bother ourselves. Obviously it has to be so, but we tend to hit ourselves, we tend to bite ourselves, we tend to beat ourselves why those things turn out that way, which sometimes is not supposed to be like that, because life happens. I must say, life happens. Disappointment comes, failure comes, but the ability for you to know that life happens and with or without failure, life continues, the better for us. So just to lay a foundation, that I'm always laying the foundation, just to say that it is just okay to start over. When you're in a spot where you think starting over is going to cost you your life, I just do feel that it might not be like that. Depends on the kind of issue, but it might not be like that. Starting over is a way, or sort of a kind of preparation that helps you to get over that stuff again and excel. You're not going to get stuck the way you were before. Do you understand? So let's jump right into it. So growing up, and I'm sure it applies to many of us, we're never raised or we're never taught the need to start over. We're never told that starting over doesn't mean the end of our lives. We're just raised in a way that we have to not get to the point that we have to start over. I don't know if that makes sense. We have to strive hard. We have to keep going. There's nothing like starting over in the dictionary of upbringing, and this runs counterintuitive to the narrative to which we are taught to ascribe. In fact, for many times, the idea of starting over feels akin to a type of failure, if I would say, something with which we are definitely not comfortable. So, but it doesn't have to be like that. It doesn't have to be like that, I must say. Starting over doesn't mean the end of our lives. So if you're in a spot where you're thinking, should you start over? What will people say? What does it feel like to start over? Don't worry. Just calm down. That's what I'm here for you. That's what I'm here for you. Anything that has to do with personal development, self-development, I am always there to hold your hands. And speaking from experience, I am not the type who would want to give up, if you know me. So I am not the type that wants to give up. I have a tendency to want everything that happens next to be some kind of logical next steps, which sometimes life happens. Decisions take place out of what you planned, and it is okay to start over, because I actually learned it not the hard way, so it doesn't sound like negative or something bad, but something happened and then I had to restructure, and I thought restructuring was going to be the best. Alas, I had to start over again. So when I started over again and I passed it and it became successful, I'm like, so it doesn't even kill to start over. It's just going to end. You're just going to end on, okay, this is what somebody is going to say. This is it. This is it, and then it continues. Life continues. In fact, it gets to a point that people will not even remember what happened again. So, oftentimes you're always thinking about, what will people say when I start over? What will people say when they know that I'm starting over again? Oh, this, oh, that. It's not supposed to be like that. This life is not as difficult as we take it sometimes. This life doesn't, I mean, life will not always go our ways or our plans, in as much as it's our prayers or decisions, sort of, or plans to have life or to do life in a way we want, but it doesn't always happen like that. So this is why it is okay to just change the narrative, just shake it a bit and see that I need to start over. If you want, or if it's worth it, please start over. So the first thing you must know is that you're not starting over from scratch. You are starting over from experience. What does this mean? You were in that journey before. You've known the steps that got you to that problem, and you know the right step. Just saying that you know the bad steps that you will not have to take again, obviously, and you know the good steps, isn't it? So this is now an experience. You're not going to start over as a newbie. You're not going to start over as somebody naive. You're not going to start over as somebody who had not embarked on that journey before. The second tip to know why it is okay to start over again is that you should learn how to be organized. Many times I think we can't actually do without being organized. We can't live an unorganized life if we want to excel or succeed. You should learn how to be organized, because part of the reasons why you were not successful the previous time, or whatever it was, came to an end, might be the fact that we weren't organized in our dealings with people or ourselves. So there's always need for us to be organized. The third thing you must know to start over, or one of the tips you should know when starting over, or when you're in the of starting over, is the fact that you should not compare yourself with anybody or anything. We are different. We have different names. We are from different families. Even if you're siblings, you did not come out the same time. Even if you're twin, you don't have the same destiny. So there's no need for you to compare yourself with another person. Do you understand? So when you want to start over, one of those things you should have at the back of your mind, or know at the back, keep at the back of your mind, is the fact that you should not compare yourself with anybody or anything. It doesn't make any sense at all. Why should I want to compare myself with Mr. A or Mrs. B? Or why? Is the person's name Chinasa? No, we are two different individuals, and our destinies are not the same. So why? I must say that comparison has to be one of those things that kills faster. It kills faster. So when you know something is not good, this thing is the reason why some people break down. Some people don't even get to succeed because they like comparing themselves. Why do you have to compare yourself when you want to start over? Why? You don't have to. You don't. So the fourth thing you must know is, you should know the reason why you failed. You should know the reason why you are starting over. That's the reason why you actually failed earlier. So when you know the reason why you failed and the reason why you are starting over, that's the reason why you did not complete the former journey, then you would know that you would have to pay attention to that particular thing. Do you get me? So let's say you're supposed to take 5 steps. Then you're supposed to take these 5 steps to scale through this journey. You took the first step, you succeeded. Second one, third one, fourth one, you wanted to follow like a shortcut, and that was the reason why you failed. So this time around, when you're starting over, you know you're not going to make any mistake of following a shortcut or using a shorter method. No, you're going to follow that stated process. The final way or the final thing we must know when starting over is the fact that we should be devoted to our goal. Be devoted to your goal. Know the major reason, the aim, your objective on why you're starting over again. Know your mission, sort of. Know, obviously we know what goal is. So if you know this is what you want to achieve and you're very certain, and it was because of this that you had to fail the previous time, that's like you trying to get that particular stuff. When you're now starting over again, you don't have to get distracted. Just have it at the back of your mind that, oh, this is what I want, and in the journey, in the process, I'm going to be distracted, but I need this thing. I have to be devoted. Do you understand me? So having known the reasons why it is actually okay to start over and the useful tips on how to help yourself when starting over, I do feel that there is need for us to talk to more persons who feel like it's actually the end of their lives when they start over, or if they start over. There's need for us to do more of the talking to friends or whoever is in such situation, because I must say it is very, some people will say embarrassing, it is very depressing. It is not a state you should be, but it is not a state that can kill. That's something we should know. It is something that should be encouraged. Starting over does not mean it is the end of your life. Now that I've come to the end of this video, please do not forget to subscribe, like, share. You might be helping somebody, and I promise I will see you in my next video.